Hello everyone, my name is TurboTony19 and this is just a quick video here. It's been about a year since Modern Warfare 3 was released, and I thought it would be a good idea to do almost my own reviews now. It's been out for a long time, and now it seems like it's 10 years coming up to its end now. Like Black Ops 2 is coming out, and it's DLC season or whatever they want to call it is now finished as well. I just basically, now it's been all this time, and now Modern Warfare is the biggest franchise really in terms of money making that's around, and it was probably one of the biggest successful games, if not the most successful game of its year. That it would be just so I wanted to kind of weigh in on my thoughts and everything. Now it's been this time. I'm not really one to do reviews at the time, and I find that my views of some games tend to change as the months progress. So that's why, like, on my channel, you won't see that many, reviews or anything like that, because I know I'm quite biased when it comes to reviewing games and everything. So, I like to do these retrospective videos, and I hope you enjoy that. We've got some the footage that you're seeing here is on the same gamer tag, but it's actually two different people that are in my clan, the Kitten clan. I was going to say Guild there. I've been playing too much Guild Wars 2. But yeah, the first one here that you're watching now is from Danny. He's a badass game. He normally plays PS3. This is a really good footage of him pretty much just taking the opposition down, so that's very good. And the other one is a Moab infected gameplay by Ben. They're both brothers as well, so I hope you enjoyed the gameplay there. Now, the first thing I want to talk about really is kind of where this game took off in terms of Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 was a massive game, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's actually almost like my gateway into the series. I played Modern Warfare the original, and I played some of the Call of Duty games before then, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the main one that I really got invested in. That's the one that I spent the most time on, and it was a great game in my opinion. I feel that it had a lot of things right. The maps were very varied and memorable. The fighting was balanced if you take away the noob tubes and all the other stuff like that. In regards to the run-up to Modern Warfare 3, I mean, it certainly was one of the most anticipated games of the year by the majority. A lot of people were looking to see how it was going to fare, how the gameplay was going to be like, if they would upgrade things, and, just in regards to that, if they changed too much of the beaten path. We all know now that they didn't change off the beaten path. And even from the trailers, it was quite evident that that wasn't the case, and even with some of the multiplayer gameplay that released prior to the game itself being released, a lot of people could see that the aesthetic, the layout, everything looked Modern Warfare 2-ish, and people seem to garner around that they saw that it was very samey, and the experience was a lot like what had been offered beforehand. And it got a lot of negative views on that, and when it got released, the actual game itself got released, there was the whole Metacritic thing, where a lot of people were just really slamming into the game, and the Metacritic score for it was absolutely horrendous. A lot worse than the game deserves, in all fairness. While in all fairness it is a upgrade to Modern Warfare 2, it doesn't deserve the right to, like, a lot of people gave it zeros. No game deserves a zero unless you can't actually turn on the bloody title screen, or it's a film about bashing babies' heads in or something like that. So the fact is, with the whole Metacritic thing, that while it probably didn't impact Modern Warfare that much, because let's face it, they were going to make a huge amount of money on this game regardless of how anyone saw it really. It could have been the worst game of all time, and people were still going to buy it because of how the series has progressed. But there was a game that came out that I was really big into called Homefront, which is a first-person shooter, and this Metacritic score wasn't as high as I think that the developers wanted it to. And because of that Metacritic score, the actual the stock prices in it dropped, and the company actually took a hit off of that, which is, these are responses made, like emotional responses made by the community that may not be necessarily entirely unbiased, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going off the beaten track. Basically, the whole thing of Modern Warfare 3 is split into three chapters. You can see that as soon as you go onto the main screen, and I'll break down what my thoughts are of each one of it as I go along. The first thing that I immediately went to, which probably isn't what a lot of people did, I went straight onto the campaign, and it's pretty much what you would expect from a Modern Warfare game campaign story, but that's not legitimately a good thing. It's very short and linear, whereas the I think that a lot of games nowadays offer different and alternative means of going about your objective and finishing the level, whereas Modern Warfare has always been a sort of like a linear sort of path, and even Black Ops was like that. But Black Ops 2 is apparently going to change a few things like that. But I'll get to that later. But I mean, the series is known for its spectacular set pieces, and it does. But at this point, so many games are doing those set pieces, and it's almost like it's just a little bit too much, that maybe they should slow things down a little bit, let the emotional response hit in. And there was a lot of the spectacular set pieces that came from the first and the second game, like, you know, the nuke being fired off in the first game was very sort of a slow moment, and it impacted, it stayed with you. I remember some of the moments in Modern Warfare 2, like, you know, when you know, the EMP gets sent off by Price and stuff, and you're like, what the hell is going on? It's like just a shock. Nothing of that really happens in Modern Warfare 3. It's more like a wrap-up thing. It's a lot of the same things that come out of a lot of the third of a trilogy, where they're just wrapping up all the loose ends rather than creating more memorable moments, if you were, you know. That's what I found with Modern Warfare 3. It was very short. You could probably rush through it on on easy difficulty just very quickly, and it doesn't have anything that really impacted you there. So that's something that I think that they need to nail on. I think that's something they need to do better with when it comes to the next game. They need to make it more involving, so you're not just basically going through a train track just kind of marvelling at all the spectacles around you, but actually make a general impact towards the characters and the story and the environments, and make it your own. That's where the best games come out of and the best campaigns come from. So that's something that I think they need to do. I think that the campaign itself was a little bit lackluster in Modern Warfare 3. In terms of how it stayed with me until now. The second of them is Spec Ops, and they released the survival mode to go alongside that. Now, I thought that Spec Ops All was a pretty good add-on in Modern Warfare 2, and the survival was a great add-on as well. I mean, personally, I spent a lot of time going through trying to get high scores and going through all the maps and seeing all the different types of enemies and just unlocking. And I like that you had your own sort of multiplayer-esque style unlock system, that you can unlock things as you go from there, because it gave you incentive once you get to level 50 to go back and do those earlier levels and get higher, because then you had the you know, you could have like sleight of hand on your perks and everything like that, so that made it a little bit a more incentive to go back. So I thought it was a good add-on. And I think that the missions as well, while there were less of them, I think they were of a good quality. And I really have no qualms with that. In fact, I think that the Spec Ops thing was actually probably one of the strongest additions to Modern Warfare 3 as an entire package, especially in terms of its replayability as well. I mean, however, I probably would have seen... I probably would have liked 4-player co-op. Now, I don't know whether that's because I played Gears of War before, and maybe that's kind of embedded into me or something, but I would have liked 4-player co-op, but I do understand why they didn't put it in, because the maps are too small, but that in itself is its own problem. And that kind of leads me into the big part of, you know, of what I'm talking about here and what lasts with you, because this is what a lot of people buy the game for nowadays, is the multiplayer. And the multiplayer itself has a lot of problems with it, and this is the thing that sticks with me throughout all this time. And the multiplayer is such a huge addition to Modern Warfare, because that's what brought it to the hearts of many gamers, and that's really, like, the campaign didn't really get this game up to the level of popularity that it is now. It's the multiplayer, without a doubt, a shadow of a doubt. So they needed to nail it. But a number of things changed when they did this, and they added stuff on. And the worst thing that they did with this, I think, is made two things really. They shortened the majority of the maps. Now, the map which was Village with this Beast gameplay, but which is one of the bigger maps. But a lot of the other maps are just far too small, and because of that, comes to my second problem: is the spawning system. The spawning system has been broken from day one. There's been multitude of times where I've gone around a corner and someone spawned right in front of me. I've killed, you know, and that's been cheap. And I've said to it, there's never a game that goes by where I say to one of my clan that I've been frustrated that I've been killed in a cheap way because someone spawned behind me, or I've killed someone that way and I'd be like, that guy must be really freaking out now. That doesn't happen in other games. The spawn system has to be nailed down, and it wasn't in Modern Warfare. It hasn't been fixed, and the reason why they can't fix it is because the maps are too small and they can't go back and adjust the maps. So that's something that I mean, other games that came out before this one, like Homefront, had it fixed where you'd actually see kind of the map as you go into your spawn. That would stop you then from basically being camped up in your spawn area. Ghost Recon had you spawn next to your teammates, and it had like a relative timer for when you were in danger and like that. So there is ways that they could have done it. They just kept with their very bad spawning system. They don't have an invulnerability timer when you spawn, so that creates a whole different set of problems. So and the thing is as well is that the whole sort of multiplayer function of it, while addictive, is also probably one of the most frustrating parts of the game, and any game that I've ever had. No game has really annoyed me to the level that Modern Warfare does. Modern Warfare 3 does. Modern Warfare 2 didn't do it this bad to me. I honestly freak out some of the matches I do. I feel like there's also a degree of unfairness, of unbalance, that there's some sort of guns or kill streaks that pretty much no counter against, you know? Some of the guns that come to mind, the Type 95, the FMG9 Akimbos. God damn, the FMG9 Akimbos, seriously, that's so frustrating. Because it's just so unbalanced, and it's almost unfair that you go around and it's not really even a 50-50 fight when you go around and there's someone at FMG9 Akimbo, so they might not even know how to aim and they kill you straight off. It's because the game tends to try and cater to a larger audience, and because of that, there's a lot of... it tries to make a lot of... assurances to new players that they can kind of get into the game with veterans. Like, they put the support kill streaks in there, which is fine, but the problem is they put UAV in that as well. So it kind of makes having any other kill streak apart from Assassin a little bit redundant, because always a UAV there, because it's so easily readily available to even players of a lower quality of play. So that in a sense kind of breaks down the perks and everything, and some perks are just you know, not even useful, you know. And I find that it's very unbalanced. I think they try to add too much on to what was already there, and that is their problem. That while you can the game bigger and better, well, bigger, it's not necessarily make better, because you can make the game too convoluted or unbalanced, which I think in Warfare 3 it did. Now, while I'm not saying that it's entirely bad multiplayer, the matchmaking system is probably the best of any game I've seen. You can get into a game very easily. Ghost Recon Future Soldier, in my opinion, is a better game multiplayer than this one, but it's matchmaking horrendous, and that kind of leads to the fact that Modern Warfare is now almost taking on sort of FIFA mantle, where everyone will buy it because it's just the natural. It's one of their yearly buys now that they get, and that's sort of good practice there by Activision. You know, they've made their product in that sort of way, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every year the game's going to be good, or it's going to be better than other games that don't have a yearly, you know, that aren't as popular. I mean, the kill streaks I think now should move towards things like, for instance, like Homefront. You have points that you do, so you get more points for attacking an enemy in an objective area, which gives you then more points to spend on kill streaks, which it promotes objective play, which Modern Warfare still hasn't held down, and something that Black Ops I think is better with, because you don't get your kill streaks added on when you use your kill streaks. You know what I mean? So there that. I mean, I just think that the multiplayer was a bit of a hash. They need to amend it. But how do you think Modern Warfare 3 is going to be remembered as a whole? I mean, I spent a lot of time playing the multiplayer, probably more than Modern Warfare 2, which is shocking considering I think Modern Warfare 2 is a league above Modern Warfare 3. But like I said, it's the social aspect. It's fact that there's pretty much no one that I know that hasn't at least played this game. You know, everyone at least has a copy. And because of that, it's like a household name, Modern Warfare now, you know what I mean? And it's easy to get a party going with people that play it, because it's an actual thing that is going to be bought. I mean, other games, like I said, have a superior multiplayer experience, but it's easy pick up and play mentality is what kind of brings it over the entire series, and that's what Modern Warfare 3 sort of tried to make more apparent than any other game in the series. One of the things I want to talk about as well is the Call of Duty Elite add-on. I still think now is probably the biggest waste of money you could ever do on this game. I think that 1,200 points for a map pack is absolutely ludicrous. I actually purchased 2 of the map packs myself, but I got them on sale for 600 each, and I was quite happy with paying 600 for a map pack. But 1,200 just seems, you can get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for that. You know what I mean? Like a whole HD remake of a game. You know, you can get Trials Evolution for the amount of points that you get for a couple of maps. I don't get it personally, but I just think that the fact is that people are going to buy the DLC if they put them out anyway. That's the reason why they can tack on these ridiculous prices, and I don't like to see Elite. I don't want to see it again. I think that a season pass is like more than enough per se. You know what I mean? That some of them are doing now. Even then, I'm not too happy with them in terms of DLC. But you know that, like I said, they can get away with it. They can charge whatever they like for the DLC because people are going to pay it. A lot of games give that sort of service for free, but you know they probably made a ton of cash out of Elite Activision, and they're probably going to do it again, and they will make money out of it. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. But talking about the future, I know it's not in regards to Modern Warfare. Black Ops 2 is coming out. I hope that when the next Modern Warfare or the next Infinity Ward Call of Duty comes out, that they do address a lot of these problems, that they almost go back to their roots in a sense and make it a little bit, not simpler, but a little bit so... make the maps bigger is just a definite, and fix the spawn system. If they fix those two things, this game would be I wouldn't have a problem with it at all, and it would last in the memory for a good reason. But Black Ops 2, I know that they're changing a lot of stuff. For instance, all their aesthetic, they're changing their timeline, trying to bring like different elements of gameplay to the campaign, and gamers are going to react to that. Gamers are going to say, obviously they've put a lot of work into trying to change the formula. We're going to give this game a go, and they're going to get behind it, which is what I'm doing, you know. And I've seen some notions of their multiplayer. The multiplayer looks completely different than their Black Ops original, so I hope that it does stay like this. But in terms of Modern Warfare as a whole, I hope it comes back strong, because if it doesn't in the next one, I see a lot of gamers just walking away from the Modern Warfare side and just sticking with the Treyarch side, you know, because they're the ones that are releasing the better sort of games. But that was my thoughts anyway. If you like the video, please give it a like and subscribe to more videos. And goodbye.